After getting some rest, the crew of the Bazaar Encounter has met with the captain of the terraforming expedition and has been told a little more about what's been going on. Being taken down to where the Hive Mother rests in the colony of this now revealed to be known as the Aculean species, the Hive Mother greets them and tells them a tale of what got them to where they are now. For millennia, this Aculean colony has remained hidden from the universe behind the storms of this world. The great thing that keeps them safe from the swarm is what was preventing the terraforming crew from transmitting out. It's by design. They have a device in the colony that amplifies this, and it's come under some disrepair over the years. When the terraforming crew was taken down, they brought the power core of their starship with them, and they're trying to work out ways of repairing it. Some seismic activity along the way has made it difficult. So while the rest of the colony sees to the repairs of the cave-ins that have suffered in the past few weeks, the crew of the Bazaar Encounter is tasked with attending to the device. When we last left you all, you just finished your conversation with the Queen. I've been calling her Hive Mother, but Queen is interchangeable. And some of you had feelings about that. So as you are bidden to leave the Hive Mother's chamber, you go back out into the tunnels, and Gustavo is standing there, kind of a small smile on his face, waiting to hear first reactions from all of you. And I'm going to start with Lemon.
So what is he asking me?
He sees you all step out, and he steps forward. Well, my friends, what did you think? Was quite the tale, yes?
Yes. Lemon kind of looks over his shoulder at the chamber. Probably, I'm assuming closed off, so I can't see inside. But he then turns back and kind of, you can see like a furrow in his brow. This is a very interesting situation, to say the least. I would say that everything could have probably been handled quite better from the beginning, but we are now in the situation. We should probably make the best of it. I am a little worried about their growth and development if they stay stagnated here. If they've already had trouble with a device that hasn't had proper maintenance and repair for this long, I can't imagine that'll stay in great condition for another couple hundred generations for them to evolve and grow and leave this place.
That is very forward thinking of you. I am curious about this planet as well. I don't know if any of you know the Vlaka, but our home is in great peril. This world is unclaimed. I admit to a little selfishness when I ponder the riddle. Perhaps we Vlaka could colonize here, be the caretakers and guardians of these, and keep them a closely guarded secret, of course. And when the time comes and they are ready to join society at large, they will have an ally, and the Vlaka will have a home.
That wouldn't be horrible, but keeping it a secret could be more damaging than being more forthright. It is hard to say what is best, obviously. Only gods really can tell what paths are the right ones and which path will lead to ruin.
And Gustavo puts his hand to his wherever a wolf man has a heart, and he'll incline his head to you at that. Next, I'd like to hear from Tallie, because it felt like it sounded like she had some feelings regarding what was going on.
So he's asking us all what our feelings are, huh?
Yes, yeah, and this is a chance for all of you as characters to tell me where you're at before we get to work.
I'm not sure how I feel about this situation. On one hand, they do seem like they need help, and them being so far away from society and part of the swarm, I guess it shouldn't be surprising how they handled it, how
Mhm.
they got us to come down. But that's still, I feel a bit better about the situation, I guess, but I do not feel good about the situation, if that
Okay.
makes any sense. I just want to fix whatever it is that they need fixing and to get the hell out of here.
That is very fair of you, and your aid will not go unnoticed. She's promised us not only safe passage, but jewels. If you noticed, the dais she was perched upon, it's covered in jewels, and she's promised us quite the handsome reward for our aid.
Yeah, promises, promises. We will have to see if she comes through with those promises.
Okay,
I have a hope, though, a slightly better hope than I did before, though.
Akim, since you chimed in, I would like to hear your reactions.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to interject. He's not going to be very talkative right now because at this point he's eyeing what was his name? Gustavo?
Gustavo, yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of very suspicious of Gustavo because Gustavo is very very on board.
Okay.
And right now Occam, I mean, he rolled I think it was a 2 sense motive, and
Okay.
where everybody else was getting 20s and like, oh yeah, she's being really honest. So I have a
Okay.
feeling that he really doesn't trust this.
Okay, well then I will give you another crack at this with a culture check.
Come here, Occam. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Okay, that's good. What's your total? I know you have bonuses.
Culture 7, 27.
27. Okay, you know that the Vlaka are in peril. Their homes, the sun in their home system is dying. Their home is more and more becoming inhospitable. And he introduced himself as being part of the Lajok expeditionary force. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that he's not being shady. He's being at this point a little opportunistic.
I mean that's fair. I think that slightly changes his concept. Like he's still suspicious, not necessarily of his motives, because at this point he's just been clear with those.
Gotcha.
But I think Occam views him as, because of what he can potentially get out of it, like his motives in it, he's more apt to believe what the queen is saying. And I think he trusts it even less because they were also bribed with jewels. And like every layer of, oh yeah, we'll give you good stuff, just looks more and more sus to Occam.
So Don wanting to give you all riches just backfired. Dope. Cool. Right on. Okay. That's completely fair.
Like from a player perspective, absolutely
Yeah.
fine. From Occam's perspective, this is turning into a deeper, darker hole.
Don, whether you liked it or not, whether you intended it or not, you have made something very intriguing and very easy for us to go on all sorts of crazy tangents in our mind.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Please lean into it. Please lean into it.
Right on. I guess Occam's always going to be a suspicious bastard.
I mean, I rolled poorly, and I'll roll with that.
I think I am too. I think though Tallie is too.
All right, Captain Brasha, what does he make of all this?
Brasha's kind of just like listening to them say their piece, and it's like, well, great. Can we go fix that thing now? You've been teasing me with these great mechanical feats that can hide from the swarm, and I just want to see it.
Gustavo smiles even wider at this and beckons you all to follow him as he makes his way out away from the Hive Mother's chamber and down some hallways. There are occasional sentries standing by. All the medium-sized Aculeans, I guess I can call them by their real names now. They're still standing guard, but as they walk up, they take a step aside and let you all pass, and you get to a chamber. It takes a few minutes, but it's still within this asteroid, this chunk that was launched from the Aculean homeworld. You get to a room, and inside is this strange device. It's alien looking, and as you all walk up, give me engineering checks. Anyone that's got them.
That'd be not me. I'm gonna be real useful in fixing a device here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5.
Actually, I would like to ask a question.
Please.
Is there any magical properties to this device to block psychic transmissions?
Give me a mysticism check.
Oh, yeah. I actually have to roll a die for this game.
Yep.
Yeah. This is like the only one I actually have to roll a physical die for.
I think based off the description, it just boosts the electromagnetic field of the world and causes a lot more
That's only a 20.
rogue particles and blocks it that way.
Okay. Akim, I'll need to know your engineering score to have that deducement.
5.
Yeah.
That was Sean.
Big machine.
That was Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm here to rub it back to health, not to understand how it is.
I rolled a 4
very
on the
fair.
die.
And you got a 20?
Yeah.
Okay, Lemon. Mystically,
Jesus
you observe this room, and there's not a whole lot of magical properties to this. It seems to operate on some sort of electricity.
What is that from? What is that from?
It's Avengers.
Yeah, Lemon will stay quiet as the more technologically inclined address this issue.
I'm gonna stand there and be like, you know, the kid there with his dad or her dad, who's standing there watching him fix the car, and will be helpful if Dad asks her to be a part of it.
I like the characterization you're going here, Carol.
Yeah,
lean into
well,
that. That's good.
Totally. I was that kid.
All right. Meanwhile, Akim and Brasha are stalking their way closer, rubbing their grubby little mitts together because this looks like amazing technology. What's being at work here? You kind of, Brasha, I didn't get your total.
35.
I shouldn't have even asked. Akim
Did you
got
say
a 5.
35?
He said 35.
You got a full fucking 30 higher than me?
Akim, so let me start with Akim. Akim, you go up to this thing, and this thing is very, very old. It's sat here. It can't move from this location. It's literally, you know, welded, bolted. However, it's attached to this chamber. But this chamber has this machine, and as you go up to it, you see it's very old. With a 5, I can't really give you a whole lot more. But with your,
I'd like to undo time and yeet it into fucking space.
we can get to that. Brasha, though, you look at this thing, and it's unlike. You haven't seen much like this. You're familiar. I don't know how familiar Brasha is with terraforming equipment, but this isn't terribly dissimilar because it is altering this planet's on a global scale. On a global scale at this point, the weather here. So it's intricate. It's alien. Nothing's written in common, but you can see that it desperately needs a new power source.
Brasha flicks his goggles down and turns to it and is like, all right, are we ready to get to work then?
Can I attempt a culture check to read this shit?
Sorry.
Actually, there is something I'd like to do.
Okay. Lemon first, and then I think I know what you want.
As he's beginning to fiddle, with the device, I will take a minute to cast Augury.
Okay.
To see if it's a good idea to fiddle with the device.
Okay.
course
Just give
it
me
is.
1
It's
second
mechanical.
while I cross-reference our chat about the thingies. So are you going to legit cast it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I use token spell and conjuration with it as I make a flame,
Okay.
and then see what happens. I give a small prayer to Saren Ray, asking for guidance. Oh wait, you roll it in secret. That's right.
Yep.
Roll the percentile in secret.
Yep. Check your messages.
Messages. I gotta go to my little pad on my hand.
Message received.
Crap. What was that?
You may just tell you what it is.
No.
Okay.
I just gotta find where I put my stuff. Oh wait, I have it right there.
Yep.
Ooh. So as I concentrate, well, do you want to describe what happens then, since you're the GM making it happen?
Sure. I usually let the spellcasters do it, but yeah, you make your prayer to Saren Ray, and in your hand, it flares out, and a combination of spell use, which I fucking love, by the way. A very large black flame appears, and it's a scorcher. No actual damage done, but a very large black flame.
I look to everyone and say, "Stop! Do not touch it."
What was that? I don't know if I've actually seen you use augury, or maybe we have like once.
Yeah, Saren Ray has given me a message. A bad omen sits upon this if we tinker with this, it seems. We should probably try to learn more before we do anything to it.
And standing behind
I
you.
was going to try and read it, but wait.
Oh, sure. Yeah, give me that culture check. Yeah.
10.
No. It does look. With the 10, I'll say like it's not undecipherable. You just don't have the frame of reference to translate this truly ancient language that has been separated from society as you know it. But no, you're not able to discern anything. It's I will give you this, that it does a lot of the letter work around the machine seems to be ornate decoration, like seals, just written. I shouldn't have said the word seals. I know it's going to come back to bite me.
They look like they might be more like in memory of blah 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 instead of press this button and hold this and tag out before using heavy machinery.
Exactly. So you look at this and you're having a hard time, Akim. You're just struggling real bad trying to unlock the secrets of this.
I will cast Detect Magic. Let's see if there's any magical properties.
Brasha's holding like a socket wrench and kind of like flipping it over in his hand, like tossing it up and touching it.
I expect him to drop it.
Actually, when he said, "Are you ready to go?" Tallie steps up immediately, like, "Of course. What do you need me to do?" And she'll be standing next to him while he's flipping his wrench in his hand.
Okay. I'm not going to have you roll a check to flip it. You can flip a socket wrench in your hand. I'll allow that.
I was going to say, I do this at work, and Brasha's more dexterous than I am.
I've seen your Snapchats. I know what you do at work. Not much.
Really? Flipping his wrench. He flips his wrench, huh? Is that what?
When you cast Detect Magic, you see attempts at the mending spell, little vestiges of former spells being cast around it. but nothing from the machine itself. It's kind of I don't know how you view detect magic, but if you have a flavor to how Lemon does this, I'm all ears.
I would assume when Lemon casts detect magic, his eyes glow brighter, and he then sees the auras of various spells correlating with the different schools of magic and levels of intensity as he concentrates.
Okay, yeah, it's
almost
just
like
kind
an
of
ethereal vapor coming off of the source.
I love it. Yeah, no, this seems to be just a dull metal gray emptiness of magic.
Brasha will put his hand on Lemon's shoulder and say, "Look, Lemon, I understand that your god is telling you that we shouldn't touch this, but my god is telling me that I should tear this entire thing apart, see exactly how it works, and then build it better." So, kind of conflicting ideologies, if you ask me.
Do you even know what powers this?
I'm going to.
Some form of electricity.
At that, Gustavo steps forward and says, "My friends, we've done what we could. When we brought our power core, we weren't able to bring it all the way into this asteroid, but we did do some work to wire it in, and when we connected our power core to the existing power structure, it caused difficulty. It cracked the power core, we believe. No power is coming from it. I could take you to it, but when it was activated, there were more seismic reactions to the power surge, and there were cave-ins."
Yeah, well, obviously, Gustavo, you can't just hotwire it like you would a hover scooter or something. You can't just jumpstart it. These have to be done delicately. Oh, God.
I look at Brasha. I've seen your workshop. Delicate is not exactly in your vocabulary.
Have any of my constructions backfired on you? No. Have any of their constructions backfired on them? Yes. 1 point, Brasha.
But Brasha,
Well,
this is a lot more complicated than anything in your workshop. Although you
Plus-
are a good mechanic.
Plus, there is your food synthesizer. That doesn't seem to work all the time.
I didn't build that. In fact, I took parts out of it to use for other things. I mean, it came that way.
Well,
This does not instill confidence.
Well, perhaps the new one we just put in there will work better.
Yeah, but there's no new one.
The new one we have yeah. Hopefully that will work better.
Akim, you're starting to say something?
I was just saying Lemon's name.
Yes.
Can you do that again?
Ask the gods for guidance?
Yes.
What would you like me to ask?
The same thing, but later.
Later? What do you mean?
Sounds like I have a power core to fix.
See?
I need to be specific in my questions, and it generally tells me more or less the immediate future. Sometimes it can be incorrect. There's always a chance that other entities intercept the message and give their own interpretation of it. But generally, my god or my god's servants are reliable and give me a good, correct answer. I can ask again the same question, or I can ask another question. I can do this twice more before I will need to rest.
Well, let me go try and fix the power core. I can get through any cave-in, so...
Where is the power core for this device?
Gustavo chimes in again. The lower levels have the power core housing. There is a cave-in, and we have been working. When you first arrived, there was the two groups of the worker drones. They were digging in, but as we dig above, beneath, Ludo and more workers have been reinforcing. I have been advised by Ludo that if we're going to try this again, we need to make sure the structure is sound. So, Captain Brasha, you seem to have some skill with engineering.
I suppose you could say it that way if you wanted to, make the worst understatement, but yes.
The Isoki parents, Dap and what's his fuck?
You named him.
Yeah, I knew it was a D. Dap and Dusty are aiding the above digging. Ludo and the workers are constructing braces and pillars beneath. Perhaps you could aid them before we continue, and it seems we have a way of testing if we are ready to continue, yes? And he turns to you, Lemon.
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I was reading something.
Oh, no. With
I
your...
should be able to get through the cave-in itself. And that way, if something goes wrong, the cave-in won't happen again, even if it's not sure now, because it's already there.
The cave-in happened beneath the colony. If we are not careful, the entire thing could come tumbling down. This is more than just repairing a quick repairing a quick hole. This is reinforcing the infrastructure of the colony's tunnel system. We have many feet of rock to tunnel through, and it's taking the worker drones a longer time to dig through the less than soft material.
Well, okay then, I can leave it alone, but I should still go check on it. I can get through the rock.
Very well, if you would like to scout ahead. Meanwhile, the Aculean warriors have been patrolling. I'm told you fought a sea serpent on your way in. Well, through the night, there have been scavengers picking apart the pieces left behind. It's infested the entrance area. We are sending out a troop to quell them. If anyone would like to join, any assistance would be very helpful. I am told your battle prowess was something to behold by these people who have not seen such martial ability.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah, he definitely inclines his head towards you. And from behind you, Koof pushes forward.
What needs stomping?
Yeah, I'll do it, but I want something besides this thing. I need something that can hurt them. Gustavo looks to two of you. The sentries have spears, which aid them in the fight a little better than your meta slashing weapons. If you would like to take arms with them, we have fashioned some. And from behind you all, Gustavo beckons, and a pair of Aculean warriors come out bearing several extra spears. They are laced with the venom of these Aculeans. None of us were so unfortunate as to fall prey to it, but we are told it is quite potent. And looking at these spears, they will be a D8 of damage, reach, trip, whatever a spear typically has. But they also have doses of toxin on them, which will poison anything you strike them with. And Koof, without a hesitation, puts the plasma kukri that Brasha gave him back into the back of his trousers and accepts a spear and a crude makeshift shield that seems to be made out of a carapace.
Lemon will... He's going to actually cast Augury again, but for a different subject, since any casting of Augury again on the same subject would always result in the same answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this one will work since it may be a little bit too long term, but the question he will pose is, will fixing the original power source for the machine be better than... Yeah, you know what, it'll just be will fixing the original power source bring better fortune or ill?
The original power source.
The original power source.
Okay. You cast it again. Your eyes glow. Not as big of a fire, but another black flame envelops your hand. And this takes a minute to cast. So while that's going on, Koof is standing with the warriors. He's ready to go. I can't really help you with any of this. It's beyond me. I took a look at it, but it's nothing I've dealt with, so I'm gonna go kill some shit.
Yeah, right? Right.
Yes. We are all surprised you have not seen something like this.
He glowers at you.
Go and have your fun, little ones.
They are literally the same height as you.
I'm not little, and I'm like, I'm gonna go with them, and I look at you, Brasha, and I go, well, I'm not little. I'm going with them. That's where I'd be more use, obviously.
Oh, yes, I was trusting you to go and look after them. But, they're like squabbling children.
They are. You're not wrong. They totally are.
Okay.
I kind of roll my and Tallie rolls her eyes.
Okay.
Oh, please.
I give her a thumbs up and you can do it, Tallie.
Thumbs
Koof.
up right back at you.
Awesome. So Tallie, Koof, and a cadre of warriors head out of the chamber as this black flame erupts from Lemon's hand.
This is not good. It even seems attempting to fix the original power core would be bad. Did they tell us where this device came from?
It was taken with them from their home world. I don't know the extent of all their technology, but it seems this was a stopgap option that they use.
I'm not an engineer, of course, but we have obviously witnessed their level of technology, and their level of technology is not very large. It's not, advanced in any form of way.
Well, you've seen how the colony lives, and then when you went into the the chunk that was launched, you saw the ornate chamber that the Hive Mother lived in. This area doesn't look Stone Age. It's definitely a style, a level of technology that can support this kind of thing.
So you would say the chamber that the Hive Mother lives in or stays in has at least some similarity to the engine chamber?
Yes. Yeah. And as you were going through the halls of this, as you're making your way towards it, like there were hallways, there were doorways, there were doors. Like there is a level of technology handling. It's just at this point, they didn't have it seems, kind of like connecting some of the dots that are kind of being pointed up. The power source wasn't doing it. The new power source was a bit faulty, and I'm not going to have you give me an intelligence check. Just you can imagine a starship's power core being plugged into something like this may have overloaded things. Like, these are all kind of like reasonable assumptions to make at this point with what you're given. And the fact that the flame that did burst forth from this last question was much smaller than before. So it's not as disastrous as it. Well, I just kind of gave that one away. Obviously, you gave that away too.
Well,
so
I did
it's
say it
not
was bad.
Yeah, it was. It's nowhere near the calamity trying to repair the original as it would be to fix the other.
You mean fix? So the original question was to fix the device.
Yes, if you try to fix the device, disaster. Less so if you try to correct the original power core. But the original power core, Brasha, you definitely told in your. I didn't do a very good job of detailing all the segments of it. I didn't know how involved I should get with what components were involved, but definitely the power core just isn't putting out enough energy this long after it was set out.
And the power core is hidden in another chamber that we can't get to currently.
Currently, yes, but there are inroads being made. You can investigate it. I know Akim said he wanted to take a look himself. So, go ahead.
On the device, do we have any readings that we can assess anything from?
Nothing at all. Nothing glowing. Nothing lit up.
So it doesn't have any readouts, nozzles, panels.
It has some rudimentary controls. Think just like dark stone kind of buttons here and there. It's definitely not like a cool keyboard. But it's a couple key component buttons that can be depressed, and then a large emitter attached.
Okay, so this will sound a little silly, but is there any form of indication that it's on or working, like a light or literally something that says on?
Is it plugged in? Isn't that what tech support always says?
Yeah,
first? Is it plugged in?
Someone tripped over the cord.
Yeah, it's definitely plugged in. But there's no like indicator light area, and there's no real way of you looking at it this way to tell if there's like a green or a red light that should be on, but there's just no lights coming off of this at all.
Okay.
And
so technically we don't know if it's working or not.
Correct, but there's definitely no standing in a starship, you can tell if energy is flowing through. There's nothing coming from this. It's metal. It's empty. There's nothing.
So I'll actually look at Brasha for a second, and I was like, Brasha.
Huh?
Brasha.
What?
This thing, it doesn't appear to be functioning currently, correct?
Lemon,
No,
that is why we are here.
Yes,
because
no.
it is not functioning.
Yes, I understand that, but this device is supposed to make the storm to protect this colony from the swarm. Yet we went through a storm.
Just because it makes storms does not mean the planet does not naturally have storms.
But it sounds like that the storm we went through was not one of the natural. It would not be a natural storm. That it was something that this device is supposed to make. Correct?
Gustavo interrupts at this. The Hive Mother told us that the storms were much thicker before. When we tried to make it through, we made it through a little damaged, but from what we were told, once fully powered on, a ship should not have been able to cross through it. And from what Fortinbras told me, you all came through a hole in the storms?
Yeah.
So if we turn this thing back on, we're stuck.
Not necessarily. We can repair it and time it. Once we leave, we can tell them to turn it back on once we've had time to depart.
I do not know if will be a good idea to repair this or tinker with it. I feel there might be something else going on here.
But it is machinery.
Yes, but we truly don't know what it does, do we?
It makes storms, Lemon.
That's what we've been told.
If it doesn't, then we will figure out what it does. That is the point of tinkering.
There are devices that can exacerbate storms. This isn't entirely alien to us. It's just their style, their manufacturing is very different.
But we are simply going off of what they say versus what we can tell.
That is why we tinker. And then we find out what it does. And then we know how to build it. And then we can build it on asshole planets and cut them off entirely.
Jesus, that was a turn.
Make one over Tatooine so no one can get back to that goddamn desert planet.
We'll always have Jakku.
We're playing checkers and Brasha's playing 3D chess. Jesus Christ. How can I weaponize this? What the fuck, Brasha?
He'll
He's gonna
know how to
weaponize
weaponize
Sabak cards.
So while you're all
I am truly surprised at you, Brasha, that you would go that far. I'm shocked.
I didn't say that we would, just we could. You have to be able to explore all opportunities.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should either.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Aperture science. We do it, we must, because we can.
I think it would be prudent if we
Sorry.
well, let's all get in on it. I don't know the
But there's no sense crying over every mistake. We just keep on building till we run out of cake.
All right.
Poor-
So,
I hope listeners are enjoying this as much as you are.
yeah, Lemon seems very worried about this process.
Okay.
He will not stop Brasha, but he will stay nearby in case anything seems off.
Okay. So, Brasha, do you want to tinker or do you want to push on and see more of the lay of the land? Entirely up to you.
When has Brasha ever given a shit about the lay of the land?
Remember, it's not that he wants to tinker, he just wants to simply dismantle.
Yeah. Well, and then remantle.
Uh-huh.
Remantle.
You want
I've seen
Super
plenty
mantle.
of those things that are not assembled back on your ship.
Yeah, but Brasha wants to remantle it and figure how to profit off of it. That's the Brasha.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You do realize when it goes back together, there's going to be like at least 5 screws that have no home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He'll find a more efficient way to build
You're
it.
like, we don't need those.
There'll also be about 10 power core, 10 electrical cords or wires and a couple buttons.
Then if that's going to happen, Brasha, I'm going to take Akim and move him forward. So, Akim, Gustavo beckons you. What they are doing isn't wise, but perhaps he is more skilled than I. And Ludo. Speaking of, we should go to him. I'm headed down there now to touch base with their efforts. Will anyone join us? Is Lemon staying behind?
Yes, Lemon's
Okay.
worried about the device and such.
That's fair. Okay. So, Akim, Sig, leave. And I'm going to follow them for a while. So, Brasha, Lemon, just hang out for a bit. Akim, you go out of here, out of the structure, out of the rockier area to where you were all kind of bedded down before. That kind of general area, the living quarters. Dap and Dusty are at work, tunneling. They aren't making a whole lot of progress. This is it's rocky dirt they're trying to get through. Sig perks up, goes up to Gustavo and says, "I think I'd like to not participate in this. Is there anything else I can do?" Gustavo jumps a little bit at being handled, Um, of course, if you would like to tend the children eggs incubation with Kodai, you're more than welcome to. And he lifts his arm up to direct him, and Sig gives Gustavo, gives you, Akim, a look of just, I'm just along for the ride. Just kind of call me if you need me. And he's going to walk up to the area where Kodai is tending to the eggs. And Gustavo shows you the progress. The Isoki are uniquely adapted, apparently, to digging a bit, but it is slow progress. We don't have many tools with which to bear into, and the setup we have, they dig for a while, and then they check in with Ludo below to make sure they don't dig too far ahead of their infrastructure reinforcement.
How far is the cave in? How far is it to the
It is
tower?
it is an entire level below us, and I couldn't judge distance. Several minutes walk. We can go there right now.
Okay.
And he takes you to the entrance where you initially arrived at this colony. We will be swimming for a ways. We found another entrance to the area. I hope that's okay. And he just...
There's not necessarily a need.
I beg your pardon?
I need to go to the cave in itself.
Yes.
Oh, that's through the water too?
This is where we are... Yes.
Okay.
The Isoki are tunneling to the entrance, but we found another one this way. Does that make sense?
Take me to where the Isoki have been tunneling.
Okay. He takes you back up there, and there are 2 tunnels being dug, and they are going at it, moving earth, to use the term loosely. It's being piled up. It's kind of rocky. You know, it takes them a bit to get it, but they have a good system going. The little worker drones are working as efficiently as possible.
Anybody got an idea about how much further you've got to go?
Dap, the elderly female Isoki, takes a step away, drinks deep from a bowl of water. Yes, you see another 30 to 60 feet, I reckon.
But this is solid stone, yes?
Not solid stone. It's kind of collapsed from above stone. It's rocky earth.
So there's gaps.
I mean, not really. It's pretty well filled in from the above. Are you familiar with Minecraft?
But there are tiny gaps, yes? It's not solid all the way
It's
through.
pretty well solid. You can see, and you go and you look. It's, you know, you if you dig at it a bit, you dig through it's loose soil mixed with rock. It's a pretty solid mixture. There's no real like, it's
But
not
it's
like
not
a cave in of a
solid.
it's not
It's not contiguous.
more or less contiguous. Like, you know, the larger bits fell and then the other bits kind of crumpled around it and filled in those holes. It's not like a collapsed building. It's like you removes the pile of sand from the bottom and everything else just settled on top of it. That was the Minecraft reference I made. So it's pretty well solid. If you're so I mean, I think just meta, you're wanting to phase through it. You can phase through it. Or just, you know, throw another option of something you haven't used yet and may not know you have, your drill gun.
I don't know if the drill can go 35 feet.
It can.
Okay. Sure.
It's straight up. So this item, for those following along at home, comes from Fly for Your Die book 1. Some of the equipment given are boring. I don't mean boring like this podcast. I mean boring as in digging.
This wasn't from Fly Free or Die.
Yeah?
No, Fly Free or Die hadn't come out yet. I've had this since I started Akim.
No, not the laser drill. I mean the other.
Okay, the drill. The
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. We on the same page?
Yeah. My bad.
Okay. No, you're fine. I didn't know if you knew you still had it. Okay. So yes, you have a weapon and legit drill. It has the shatter. Let's see, what's it called? The molecular borer, or did you get the modal borer? No, you got the molecular borer.
No, it was. Hold on. It is a. Somewhere in this list of things. Excavation drill utility with a duster fusion on it.
Excavator. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, that actually comes from the Armory book, but okay. So yeah, you have this.
Tick on it, which makes it like blast through shit pretty hard.
Yes, it'll blast through levels of hardness equal to. But yeah, so if you were to pull this thing out, it's a sturdy, snub-nosed laser rifle, which resembles a starship's mining laser in miniature form. It fires a powerful beam that loses intensity after a relatively short distance. So you'll have to like get up in there. But it very much makes quick work of it if you wanted to give it a whirl.
Sure.
So if you want to use this, it'll take some time, but you will drastically speed up there. But if you dig forward without coordinating with Ludo below, you could be boring into an area that is unstable beneath. Does that make sense?
I think we are looking at very different things here. Because mine has no lasers. Mine is literally a drill. Here, look, here's the link.
Yeah, link me the thing. Okay, that is from Fly Free or Die. Okay. I typed in excavation and it went to... Oh, this is the melee... Okay, yeah. So for the listeners, there's the ranged weapon that has excavation laser. That's from the Armory. The melee weapon, the excavation drill, is a handheld device that is used to dig into there. So, okay, I was wondering why it didn't have the shatter ability on the other one. So, yes.
It just halves the hardness of any object it's drilling into after the first round. And then it ignores the next 6 points of hardness and then deals full damage after that.
Yep.
So generally stone has a hardness of like 8 to 10, so this just ignores that, basically.
Yeah, so you could make quick work of this and just power through, but again, you would risk going into an area that isn't properly girded beneath by Ludo and his crew of insect diggers.
So about how deep underneath is this other like girded tunnel?
It's an entire level below. Gustavo, he puts his hand to the ground. I cannot sense the other side of it from here. I do not know. It's kind of a circuitous route.
But it's right
below a large
us, right?
Cavern.
Like directly below us?
There's directly-ish, yes, but there's it's a large cavern area. If we were to pierce through here, we would be destabilizing this level with this hole.
And I just, I turn ethereal and go through the floor. I boost my defense. Okay. Is it...
Cool. So,
am I able to tippy-toe touch my toe to the roof of the cavern or whatever?
How tall are you?
1 second. I think I have that written down here.
Okay.
6'6",
And also,
6.
and that's not including my arms.
you're 6'6".
Yeah.
Oh, you got that big conical skull. It's deeper than 6'6", and also
Right, but I can
went
also reach,
ethereal.
which would probably give me another 2 or 3 feet.
Okay, yeah, it's deeper than 10
Okay.
feet. It's a ways down there.
Okay, then I
And
can't
also,
pass
you
into
just
it.
went ethereal and tried to phase in front of a blind man, so he has no clue what's going
Well,
on.
I vanished to him then because I'm no longer physical.
You're incorporeal. You're not ethereal.
Which means I'm not
Correct.
physical. Ethereal is another plane.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. Yeah. You said you went ethereal. I just wanted to clarify.
Fair.
That.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I use them
Yeah,
interchangeably.
no, you're fine.
Sometimes.
You use them
Yes.
incorrectly. I'm just being a dick. I'm sorry. You and like he kind of gives a start at that. Mr. Akim. Okay, if you make sounds,
I blink down, and then like when I can't pass through, I blink back up, and then I turn solid again after 6 seconds.
Boinking this episode. Cool. Here's an explicit tag for
Boink.
this episode for boinking.
Get boinked.
Okay. So yes, can we try my way now?
All right.
He leads you back. He leads you back through the tunnel to the entrance below, and there's one Aculean warrior kind of following you throughout all this. And you dive down. You still have life bubble up, so you're good to go. And you swim. And while you swim, I want to jump over just real quick to touch base with those guys. Lemon and Brasha, you are in the thing. Brasha, if you are determined to start to dismantle this, start giving me an engineering check.
Aye, aye, El Capitan. Okay. 37.
Christ. Yeah. Your those goggles you have, your keen senses, you start to find ways of taking this apart. And some of this faceplatey stuff, it requires like a good like elbow to like loosen it, but then like the plates kind of peel off, kind of like not exactly, but a bit like an artichoke. Like, you can start like peeling off here, and it kind of opens up a bit, and it starts to reveal something a little more familiar to you, and it's electronics. It's not, everything isn't nice and color coded like you're used to. It's definitely still completely alien, but you start to make progress in tearing this apart. Lemon, you're standing watching as this happens. Is there anything you want to say or do before I check in with Tallie?
No, I am just watching to make sure nothing explodes in his face.
Okay. Arms crossed, judgmental look on your face, maybe? You tell me.
More curious.
Okay.
But yes. A little leery of messing with the object that could spell doom for everything.
Okay. Cool.
Brasha's giggling to himself.
Of course he is. Psychopath.
I could blow up the whole planet, and he's laughing. It's so beautiful.
And we shift scenes again, and Tallie with the life bubble, Koof also with life bubble. The 3 Aculean warriors are swimming with you, and you're kind of going back the way you came. You did a very good survival check to like track progress around, so you recognize the path you took. And you get to, you start to see little bits of pieces of shell floating at indeterminate levels, because as we determined that episode, if you tear apart a bug, its body parts don't sink, they float.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so Koof has a spear now. He has a spear and a shield. He still has his kukri, but a spear was offered to you if you'd like to take it. But the rest of them just kind of swim in silence. Not a lot of chit chat with these hive mind working bugs, really. Koof has a determined look set on his face. He's just got a little bloodthirst to him. He looks like he's ready to fuck shit up.
I always look like I'm ready to fuck shit up, so
Fair.
I know that's a look.
Okay. Yeah, and you go and turn a corner, and you see two serpents, much smaller than the ones you fought, but they are gorging themselves in this area, and they're just kind of roiling around, and it's kicking up the dirt a bit, and there's just kind of a underwater dust cloud ahead of you, but you do see flicks and flecks of these serpents kind of going in and out of here. And that's where I'm going to leave you this episode.
Ah,
And I'm going to shoot back.
You finally get back to me, and that's where you leave me. You dick!
Yeah. And shifting back through a different tunnel at the water. Like, it's all underwater. What did I describe it? I described it as Phantom Menace last time. So more tunnels, underwater tunnels that Akim and Gustavo and one of the Aculean warriors who does have spears make their way. And you're swimming for quite a few minutes. And eventually you surface up.
Excuse me.
I need a map for my recollection. And you surface up, and there are a couple standing sentries. You get up. Gustavo starts making his way, and he's blind, but he has blind sight, hearing, and vibration, and scent. No, he has scent and blind sight, hearing. So he's padding his way along this tunnel. It takes a steep incline, and he kind of wobbles a bit, but finds his footing just fine. Make your way down tunnel for a few more minutes. There's a little stream flowing by, and he just walks straight through it. It's not very deep at all. It doesn't even go up to your calves. And you arrive to a large open area where certain not Formians, Christ, I have Formians written here and it's now fucking with me. Aculeans are busy at work. You see Ludo standing watching. He's got a pair of goggles on, and knowing what you know about humans, they don't have dark vision, so he's got a pair of dark vision goggles. And he's watching them. He sees you, and he turns, waves you over, and I don't really have a voice for him, but he's like, "Oh, it's good to see you. I'm Ludo. I didn't get a chance to talk much. I'm not much good in me in the morning, but here to help us, Captain?"
I'm not the captain.
I was actually talking to my captain, and Gustavo smiles and he nods and he takes a step away, and he's going to go rest his feet in the cool, cold water and not have me have to do two NPC voices in the same conversation. So Ludo is looking at you, and he's looking around with the goggles up. Well, we're making progress. It's a bit slow going, but these aliens, they got abilities I've not seen. You see that one there? And he's kind of standing off to the side in like a overseer observation way. So they're off working, and he hands you a pair of dark vision goggles. His pair of dark vision goggles, I should say. You're sharing a pair of dark vision goggles. Okay. They're more than 20 feet away, so your flashlights don't do shit. Just to make sure I'm covering all my bases from now on. You put them on, and you do little adjustments, and you see these Aculeans. There's they're the littler ones. The smaller ones are busy at work, and they're all working in tandem together in like real fluid, concerted way. But you see them moving the earth. Not digging and piling, but they are legit moving and shaping the ground. And you are seeing them use geomancy. They are using it to pull the dirt up. You see them take it spike it up, very much like earthbending in Avatar: Last Airbender, and they get a big spike up, and then they spend time reinforcing that and going all around it, and then you see another crew come behind them and with a much messier, wetter substance coat it all around, and you're looking at this and they're like, it's like concrete. It's taking time, but they are just without a word, they're just all wordlessly doing this and shaping and building up these pillars. And you look around and then you think back to the areas you've been in. They've built this by not just this kind of dugout portion, not the kind of asteroid interior of the hive, but they are straight up earthbending structures.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, they've got some tricks. I've never been one for magic, but I can't deny the results. They're little, but all of them putting their work together has done this. And he's kind of pointing. He directs your face to look at some of the structure, and it's got a little bit of artistry to it. It's not just ugly slabs of dirt and mud and rock. It's spiralized banisters. It's the girders have some artistry to them. It's actually kind of neat. It's not just mundane function. There's fashion kind of to it.
Yeah. I think he's going to he's gonna hand back the goggles and he's gonna walk off that way towards the builders, just passing along what they've already done. He's gonna stay out of their way, but he's going up to look what it looks like past where they're working.
Okay. Yeah, you go up to past where they're working. You still have the goggles on, so you can see.
I handed them back.
Dark vision just. Oh, that's right. So you got your flashlights up, and the little guys, they flinch when they see you walking up, but then they blink back and they just keep going to work. Just all real fluid motions. These people have hive mind and telepathy, so they are extremely coordinated workers. You kind of disrupt it, but then they quickly get back to it, and you go into the smaller chamber beyond, and there's a large pool of water, and you're walking around, and you kind of got a weird feeling. I need you to give me a will save.
Oh, yay. Such yay.
Much yay. Mucho yay, even.
Will is 2, so 12.
12. Okay. You're walking along and you just start to feel sense of dread. You feel uncomfortable. This place feels not great. As you walk into this room, you start to hear the crunching underneath your boots, and you see underneath your feet a cloudy blue crystal. Jagged, black, with a cloudy blue core. And you failed, so you are shaken. And you just feel anguish fill your mind.
Ew.
And we'll find out why you're so anguished next time on Hex Grid Heroes.